Picture this. You finally made it to bed, you pop in your headphones, and you hit play on your favorite ASMR track. Ah, bliss, right? But have you ever actually stopped to ask yourself a super simple question? How long should you actually be listening to ASMR? Like, are we talking 5 minutes, 20 minutes, an hour, or do you just let it loop all night long? Honestly, most of us just do what we've always done. We put it on, wait for that calm feeling to hit, and either pass out or let it run endlessly until the sun comes up. But here's the kicker we're looking at today. More isn't automatically better.
Welcome to today's Explainer. I am genuinely so excited to dive into this one with you. Today we're breaking down the science-based timing guide for ASMR, because the goal here is to pivot away from just passively listening until we crash, and instead build a highly intentional, super effective routine. If ASMR is your go-to for sleep, stress, or even focus, well, your timing matters a lot.
So here's our game plan for today. We'll start by unpacking the ASMR timing trap, then look at the science of habituation, break down safe timing by your specific goal, go over how to rotate your triggers, and finally answer the big question, are you overusing ASMR? By the end of this explainer, you'll have the exact science-backed minute ranges you need for your nightly routine. Let's jump right in.
Section 1. The ASMR timing trap, and why falling asleep to endless loops might actually be holding you back. All right, we've got to bust a major myth right out of the gate. Look, I know it's incredibly tempting to just throw on an 8-hour loop of rain sounds or tapping and let it do all the heavy lifting while you sleep. But that convenience, that's exactly what creates the trap. Using ASMR without a specific nightly goal. Because there really is no universal magic number that works for every single situation. You actually need to ask yourself, okay, what exactly do I need from this tonight? Are you trying to sleep? Are you cramming for an exam? Just stressed out from work? Your timing has to match that goal.
Which brings us to Section 2, the science of habituation, or why your tingles might literally be disappearing.
So if you've ever noticed that your absolute favorite creator just isn't giving you those brain tingles anymore, don't worry, it's not their fault. It's actually just neurology. It's how your brain handles constant exposure. There was this landmark research by Thompson and Spencer back in 1966, and they defined habituation as a reduced response to a stimulus after repeated and prolonged exposure. Basically, when your nervous system gets hit with the exact same thing over and over, like that same whispering video you play every single night for weeks, your brain's response just fades out. The novelty is gone, and your brain literally tunes it out. Now, don't get me wrong, the research confirms that ASMR absolutely works. A fantastic 2018 study by Poerio and her team showed that people who respond to ASMR experience a legitimately reduced heart rate and a much better mood. It lowers arousal, it anchors your attention, it's amazing for giving your nervous system predictable cues to relax. But, and this is absolutely crucial, our brains crave novelty. So endless, unvarying repetition will eventually dampen those amazing, proven benefits. Moving to Section 3, Safe Timing by Goal. Think of this as your new situational timing menu. Since endless loops lead to habituation, we're going to ditch that old habit and replace it with this structured menu. Seriously, make a mental note of these because these are concrete rules you can start using tonight. If you're just feeling overstimulated during the day and need a quick nervous system reset, stick to 5 to 10 minutes. Pick one gentle trigger, and you're done. Now for pre-sleep relaxation, sleep hygiene research points to 15 to 30 minutes. It's long enough for your body to fully wind down, but short enough to stay an intentional routine. And if you're using it to study or focus, keep it to a block of 15 to 25 minutes with low novelty sounds, so the audio doesn't accidentally become a distraction. Oh, and there's one more really specific scenario to cover. For sudden spikes in anxiety, your sweet spot is 10 to 20 minutes. But please, hear me out on this huge caveat. ASMR is a complementary tool, not a cure-all. It shouldn't replace professional support or be the only coping mechanism in your toolkit. Pair that 10 to 20 minutes with slow breathing, maybe some grounding exercises, or even just texting a friend for a balanced approach.
And that brings up a really important warning. Overnight listening comes with actual physical risks. I know so many of us love drifting off to ASMR all night, but wearing headphones while you sleep can lead to real ear pressure and that awful soreness from headphone fatigue. Ironically, it can actually disrupt the deep sleep you're trying so hard to get. So if you literally must have it on overnight, keep the volume incredibly low and please use a sleep timer on your device. Comfort and safety always come first.
All right, Section 4, Rotating your triggers to protect the magic.
So for setting timers and ditching the endless loops, how do we keep the tingles alive? Well, the secret isn't finding louder or wilder videos. The secret is protecting the novelty of your sensory stimuli. Just look at the contrast here. The usual habit is just listening until you are completely numb or bored. But the healthy approach, that's stopping while it still works and actively rotating those triggers. If you listen until you're bored, your brain starts associating ASMR with the frustration of endlessly scrolling for a better video. But if you stop while you're still enjoying it, you preserve that positive response for tomorrow. Let me give you a super practical example of how to rotate your triggers effortlessly throughout the week. Step 1. Kick off your week with some whispering videos. Step 2. Once that starts feeling a little stale, switch over to soft speaking. Step 3. A couple days later, pivot to physical sounds. Think page turning or keyboard typing. And finally, Step 4. Move entirely over to audio-only ambience, like a cozy rainstorm or a crackling fireplace. Bouncing between categories like this totally protects that brain novelty, and you never have to go digging for extreme content.
Which brings us to our final section, Section 5. Are you overusing ASMR? Let's talk about recognizing the signs of dependency.
I want you to be really, truly honest with yourself for a second. Are you maybe developing a bit of an unhealthy dependency on these videos just to get through the night? Hey, it happens to the best of us, faster than we think. Let's do a quick zero-judgment self-audit. Do you find you literally cannot sleep without finding the absolute perfect video? Are you spending way more time browsing than actually relaxing? Do you find yourself needing louder, more intense sounds just to feel anything at all? Maybe you're using it to ignore real, daily problems. Or do you feel a spike of panic if your phone dies and you can't get to your playlist? Listen, if any of that hits home, it doesn't mean ASMR is bad. It just means your nervous system routine is asking for a little bit of balance.
I absolutely love this analogy. ASMR is exactly like steeping tea. A short steep, you get this nice, light, refreshing effect. A slightly longer steep gives it some depth, but if you just leave the tea bag in the mug forever, it doesn't get better, it just gets bitter. It ruins the whole cup. More time does not equal more relaxation. Once you hit a certain tolerance level, you aren't actually relaxing anymore. You're just desperately chasing a feeling.
So let's turn all of this into a real, actionable routine. I challenge you to try this 7-day reset protocol starting tonight. Step 1. Pick a consistent bedtime. Step 2. Choose just one single video under 30 minutes. Step 3. Keep that volume low. Step 4, and this is a total game changer, stop scrolling the absolute second you hit play. Put the phone down. Step 5, keep this exact setup for 3 nights and then rotate your trigger. I promise you, if you try this, you are going to see how much easier it is to fall asleep when ASMR is just a gentle, predictable cue, rather than an endless marathon. All right, we've navigated the timing trap, we broke down habituation, and you've got your situational menu ready to go. Remember, ASMR is at its absolute best when it's not some exhausting task you have to perfectly optimize. It should just be a gentle whisper telling your body the day is done. So now that you have the science-backed guidelines, I want to leave you with one final thought to chew on tonight. What is your ideal ASMR session length? Take these tools, play around with them, and find that perfect, magical number for your own routine. Thanks so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and happy listening.